Astor presents the Screen Guild Players. The Screen Guild play tonight, Edge of Darkness. The starring players...
This is John Garfield.
This is Maureen O'Hara.
And this is Ralph Morgan.
Tonight, Lady Astor presents the Screen Guild Players in an exciting narrative of the Nazi invasion of Norway. A radio adaptation of the Warner Brothers production, Edge of Darkness, starring John Garfield as Gunnar Brogge, Maureen O'Hara as Karen Stensgaard, and Ralph Morgan as Dr. Stensgaard.
Herr Lieutenant, I will dictate my report.
Ready, Herr Hauptmann.
To headquarters, Berlin. From Hauptmann Koenig, Commandant of Trollness, Norway. Our forces remain in complete control.
Hauptmann, have you seen your sentries' faces in the night? So full of fear?
Lieutenant, you spoke?
I said nothing, Herr Hauptmann.
Continue then. All military regulations remain strictly in force.
Brave Nazi sentries, frightened at the closing of a door.
Curfew, blackouts, precautionary searches.
How do you sleep, Herr Hauptmann? Not very well?
If there were any open attempt at revolt...
You're worried, Herr Hauptmann. You're disturbed.
If there were any attempt at... No. No, they won't revolt. They'll never stand and fight like men.
For the report, Herr Hauptmann?
Of course not, you fool. What do they expect of me in Berlin? I'm a soldier. I can't fight ghosts. These things I can't put my finger on. A boat is sunk. A shipment from the cannery spoiled. A fire breaks out. A wire is cut. What shall I tell them in Berlin? How shall I tell them that the kettle boils and boils and... What's the use? Get out. I wish to be alone.
Karen, you shouldn't have come here to the wharf. It's late.
I've been out in the curfew before.
But I never know when they'll search this place. If they found you with me, why...
You'll be gone soon. You'll open the trap in the floor and drop into your boat. And then you'll be gone. Gunnar, England is so far away.
Don't worry. I can sail it blindfolded.
The moon is so bright tonight. Maybe you could wait. Another night, a darker one.
I've had my fill of waiting. 2 years of the Nazi beast without striking a blow.
Gunnar, listen.
Other Norwegians have got to England. Now they're fighting. They're doing something.
You're doing things here. Everyone depends on you.
Yes, and asks me, all of them, all the time, Gunnar, when? Gunnar, how long? Will the arms come, Gunnar? And we wait. And they never come.
So you leave us.
I must do something.
You leave me.
Karen.
Gunnar, what's that?
Don't talk. Who is it? Who's out there?
Gunnar, open up.
Hammer, what's happened? What are you doing here in Trollness?
Instruction revolt.
What?
How? When? Talk, man, talk.
I can't. I have a bullet in my...
Gunnar!
It's all right. I've got him.
Dead.
No, he's just fainted.
Gunnar, listen. That bugle, that's an alarm.
We'll have to get him out of here. Hammer, stand up. Do you hear that bugle? That means Koenig's got the news, too. He'll send out patrols. This is the first place he'll search. Do you understand? Karen, can you get him to Osterholm's farm?
He needs a doctor, Gunnar. If he dies now...
He can't. He's got to live. He's got to tell us what he knows.
Let us understand each other, Gunnar Brogge. I have come with you only because I am a doctor, a man of science. It is my sworn duty to heal the sick.
Your daughter had a better reason, Doctor.
Karen?
She's a Norwegian. Wait. This is the cellar door. Open up. It's Gunnar. I've brought Dr. Stensgaard.
Father, we were so worried. We heard shots.
Gunnar broke.
It's all right now, Hammer. You'll be all right.
Gunnar, listen, it's important.
This man is in no condition to talk.
Is he going to live?
I'm only a doctor. I can't be sure.
And he's got to talk. Hammer, listen.
Broggy, this is a human being.
Hammer, tell me. How did the revolt start?
We got arms.
Please, I've known you people all my life. Good, decent people.
Hammer, say it. How did you get the arms?
The English. They're delivering arms. All up and down the coast.
Arms? You got the arms from the English.
You will all get them. You were told to wait. But we couldn't. We were betrayed.
A quisling.
We had to fight. The Nazis brought up tanks and planes. It was a bloodbath. I was the only one. The only one.
Hammer.
He can't talk anymore. He's unconscious.
Arms. He said they got arms. We'll get them, too.
And you'll take them, of course. And then what happened in Stockholm will happen here.
Well, you men and women, you heard what the doctor said. Is there anyone who agrees?
Well, I don't exactly agree, Gunnar, but there are a few doubts in my mind.
Howard! No, wait. Let him speak. Everyone should speak his mind.
That's right. Go ahead, Osterholm.
I'm a farmer, Gunnar. If I lose my farm, there must be a reason for it. For a sacrifice like that?
What sacrifice? What are you giving up, your life? Maybe they'll take it whether you fight or not. Your farm? It's not yours anyway till you fight for it. Your peace? What peace do you have when they can come and take you as a hostage in the middle of the night to be shot for something you never did and never even heard of? Like Gerd's husband, like old Mortison's son. To live in fear, to have blackings at the window, to talk in whispers. Is that what you want?
All I did was ask a question. I'm satisfied with the answer.
It's decided, then. We wait for the arms.
Yes. And for a time, that will be right.
Karen, it's dangerous to go any farther together. We'd better part here.
This small parting I don't mind. But when I think that you might have been out on the sea...
It's different now. We'll have arms. We must be very careful. No false steps.
With you to lead us, we'll not make any, Gunnar.
I hope not. Karen, do you know why I was so eager to go to England?
You gave me reasons enough.
One I didn't give you. You.
Me?
I was afraid that if anything happened to you, I'd lose my head. Then I shouldn't be any use anymore. But now I stay. Now I have to stay. Karen, if we're to fight, nothing else must count. We must be like steel.
Yes, Gunnar. Like steel.
Especially now. There was a note in my fishing box. I had not meant to tell you.
A note from whom?
I don't know. It wasn't signed. It said, tonight near the hotel, the patch of pine trees by the road.
The hotel? That's German headquarters. It might be a trap.
Perhaps. I'll have to find out.
I'll go with you, Gunnar.
No.
Please, it's better so. If anything goes wrong, then one of us might get away. Please, Gunnar. Together?
Together, Karen.
Hours we've been lying here and no sign of anyone.
Just a while more.
Okay.
Who's that?
Quiet, you fool. You want to bring the sentry running? I'm right back of you. Move back slowly, quietly. Trees are thick up back here. Well, that's better, I should say. So you're Gunnar Brogge.
Yeah?
And Miss Stensgaard. Lovely night for running through the woods.
Who are you?
A British agent.
In a German's major's uniform? How do we know you tell the truth?
You don't. But you'll take this dictionary. Oslo edition 1937. You'll use it as a code book when they bring arms to you.
We will get arms?
Yes, but no matter what happens, keep your people in check. No move till we give the word. Till the whole coast is armed.
In a German major's uniform. How do you do it?
Do I ask you how to catch fish? Now listen carefully. You'll post a watch each night on the plateau about half a mile up from the hotel. Be signaled from a British ship about 12 miles offshore. I'll give you the code, and you'll reply by flashing a light. The ship will be at a point due west in the center of the moon.
the wind is strong up here on the plateau. I'm cold, Gunnar.
Oh, the coffee will be ready in a minute. I'll take the binoculars for a while.
The 56th watch. I feel like shouting out across the sea. World, we're waiting here. Don't forget us.
Go ahead and shout. Maybe it'll help. Tell them to be quick about it. I'm getting old. At my age, my father already had 2 children. Karen, you mustn't give up hope. Our day will come. There. Yeah, that's more like it.
Gunnar, when you have your arms around me...
Idiots!
Good, Bjarnason.
I might have been a German patrol. In these times, you have no right to think only of yourselves.
I'm sorry, Gerd. It won't happen again.
Maybe I have more reason to watch. I have more to avenge. I saw them stand him up against the wall. I saw the rifle spitting death. And when he fell, I swore that someday I would...
Wait! Out there to the sea. There's a light.
Gunnar, the English ship.
It must be. They're signaling. The code boat. Karen, Gerd, you take the light. I'll count the flashes off. 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 6, 3, 1. What are they saying?
Can you read our...
2, 1.
Signal.
Good. Flash them back. Yes. 1, 2, 1. That's it.
They're answering.
4, 1, 3, 5, 6, 3, 1, 1, 1.
Come immediately. British ship. Pick up arms. Oh, Gunnar, they've come.
Now let the villagers ask me, Karen. Now let them just ask me when.
So ends Act One of Edge of Darkness, starring Ralph Morgan, Maureen O'Hara, and John Garfield. Before we hear Act Two, a word from our hostess, Lady Esther.
I once heard a man make a rather cruel remark about a woman. I heard him say she had no personal charm whatever, not one single redeeming feature. But I happened to meet her the other day, and I just stared in amazement, for she didn't even look like the same woman anymore. Since I'd seen her last, she had acquired a radiantly clear, fresh, delicate-looking skin, and it made her face look a lot younger and more interesting. It even made her hair look prettier and her eyes look more exciting. Well, that confirms what I've said so many times before, that there are no plain women. There are only women who don't know how to make themselves look attractive. Any woman can have a fresh, lovely skin, and without a lot of trouble or expense either. For all she needs is just one cream, Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. So many women have written to tell me how much Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream has done, not only for their skin, but for their whole appearance. You see, this one cream by itself thoroughly cleans your skin, softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and leaves a wonderfully smooth base for powder. The only way you can really tell the difference between Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream and other face creams is by the appearance of your skin after using it. So I ask you to try Lady Esther Face Cream. See how it loosens and absorbs the dry, clinging flakes, how your skin takes on a vibrant, youthful look, how your whole appearance seems to undergo a delightful change.
And now the curtain rises on the second act of Edge of Darkness, starring Maureen O'Hara as Karen Stensgaard, John Garfield as Gunnar Brugge, and Ralph Morgan as Dr. Stensgaard.
The promise had been kept. We had our arms, machine guns, rifles, hand grenades, enough for everyone. Now all we had to do was wait. But as it happened in Stuxman, so it happened with us. We were betrayed. We had a quisling, too.
A traitor. One of our own people.
He begged us for mercy, said the Germans had forced him, threatened him with death.
He was weak, a coward. He told what he knew.
But luckily, he didn't know enough. Only that we had gotten arms, not where we'd hidden them. The Hauptmann was enraged. He searched and searched. And when his prying failed, tried to provoke us into open revolt, tried to make us move before the proper time. But still we held our tempers in our hands. Men were beaten in the streets. Our homes were burned, our food and clothing taken away from us. And still we waited. Karen and I had met for a moment in the church. A German patrol was going by.
Another patrol. All day, all night, patrols.
Karen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gunnar. The day has been so hard, so cruel.
It will even be worse. Koenig is trying to make us lose our heads, force our hands.
And he will. I can see it in the people's faces. How much more can they take? How much longer can they hold back? Gunnar, I'm afraid.
Of what?
Of another Stokesund. If we're forced to fight before the other towns are ready.
I've thought of that, too. Karen, listen carefully. If trouble comes, I'll be the first that Koenig will arrest. You must know what's in my mind, and remember, tell the others.
I'll remember.
First, blow up the dynamo so Koenig can't use his radio to get help.
Yes?
Then take the point that guards the fjord, put the women, the children, and the old ones into boats. Send them off to England.
Yes.
And then a massed attack. Take the hotel, kill every German soldier in the town. And those who are left will set sail, too, for England.
Those who are left?
Maybe there are some of us who have to die. Karen, you won't cry.
No, I won't cry. We've been lucky, Gunnar. We've had 2 years. And time is measured differently now. A day is a year. If you do not come back, there will be a long life to remember. I'll remember it proudly.
Good girl, Karen. The street is safe now. I'll go first to be sure it's safe. I'll stop at your house later, and we'll go to the meeting together.
Be careful, Gunnar.
I will.
Gunnar, I love you so much. Someday, here in this church, you and I... Oh!
All in good time, Liebchen. All in good time.
Yes, Gunnar.
Good evening, Doctor. I came for Karen.
Karen's not here.
Is that you, Gunnar Brugge? Come in, have some tea.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Stensgard. I don't have much time. I suppose Karen stopped to visit somewhere. Are you coming to the meeting, Doctor?
Meeting?
Osterholm's cellar to plan in case we're forced to fight. I'll go on ahead, Doctor. Good night.
Anna!
Yes, Martin?
Anna, I must make a call.
Of course, Martin. I'll have to hurry.
You?
I couldn't let you go to the meeting alone. Here, your hat, your cane.
The gold-handled one?
Why not? A doctor is a man to be respected. He should always look his best.
Gunnar should have been back by now. Maybe I ought to go and look for him.
That's all we need, Osterholm. Someone looking for someone else. Gunnar was here. He should have stayed here.
I'll go. Who is it?
Dr. Stengard.
Come in, Doctor.
I brought my wife. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. Sit here, Mrs. Stengard.
But my daughter Karen, Gunnar Brugge, they should have been here. What is it? What's wrong?
Nothing. They'll be here. You see? They're coming now.
Good. I couldn't find her anywhere. I looked all over, every street, every house. Dr. Stensgard, I didn't know you were here.
Gunnar, the truth. Where is Karen, Gunnar?
Well, she'll be here any minute now. I'm sure she will. Oh, there she is now. There, you see, I knew she'd...
Gunnar.
Karen. Karen! If you just cry, Karen, cry. At least cry.
Let my mother cry for me.
Gunnar, if you think now is the time to fight, then say the word, and by heaven we fight.
No, Gerd, no.
We've stood enough.
Gunnar, listen to me.
I'll listen to no one.
All over Europe, women, this happens to many. Why am I any different?
Why am I any different? There's not a man in Norway who wouldn't kill for this.
Gunnar, if there's a chance left, don't throw it away because of me. These people trust you. If you give the word now, you'll betray them all. Remember what you said yourself. We must be like steel. Were they just words, Gunnar? Were they?
All right. We will not fight now.
Listen, there's trouble.
Everyone to his home. Karen, Mrs. Stensgaard, Dr. Stensgaard.
He's gone. Mother, he's gone.
Open up in there. Open up.
Gunnar, what shall we do?
Open up, you swine. You're surrounded.
There's no use. We're trapped. Open up, Astor home.
Yeah, we make a nice catch here.
What do you want?
Tonight a German soldier has been beaten to death. By order of the Hauptmann Koenig, you're under arrest.
That's it. That's fine. Work hard, you Norwegian barbarians. Work hard. Dig your own graves. Herr Lieutenant, 2 minutes more.
Jawohl, Herr Hoffmann. Up to! It's all my fault. All my fault.
Father, you mustn't speak that way.
Gunnar, I went to them. I confessed. They had no right to arrest you all.
It was a pretext, Doctor. They wanted an excuse to kill the leaders off.
I didn't think. I couldn't. The cane was in my hands. And when I saw that German's face, I had to kill. I had to. Now all of you must die. All of you because of me.
No. Not without making a fight of it. Do you hear them? The villagers are going to attack. We still have a chance. When the shooting starts, those soldiers will turn. Now! Run! Everybody, run!
This is no disorganized mob, Herr Hoffmann. They're attacking by plan.
Rabble. I'll deal with them. Hello, Harbor Patrol. Hello.
Hello, this is the Harbor Patrol. Would you like to go to England with the women and children?
Blockhouse. Hello, Blockhouse. I want the corporal.
The corporal is dead. We're coming up to get you next. Free Norway.
Herr Hoffmann, what is it?
The radio. Get Trondheim. Tell them I want planes.
Yes, Herr Hoffmann. It'll only take a minute.
Yes. Well, don't stand there like a fool. Get Trondheim, I said.
That must have been the dynamo we heard just now. The radio is dead.
Dead? Dead? Then, so are we all.
Gunnar, to England?
To England, Karen. All who are left.
How many are left?
200 of us. None of them.
Look at the flag, Gunnar. You can still see it flying from the church tower. It's very pretty. The flag of Norway.
Yeah. The German flight patrol will come over late this afternoon. They'll see that something's wrong. They'll send more soldiers and take the flag down.
Of course they will. They'll take it down. And then, someday, we'll put it back up again.
Our thanks to John Garfield, Maureen O'Hara, and Ralph Morgan for appearing with the Lady Esther Screen Guild players in Edge of Darkness.
It was our real pleasure to be here, Mr. Bradley. We know that the benefits from these programs support the Motion Picture Relief Fund and Clinic. And of course, we all know how important that activity is to our industry. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss O'Hara. There's a certain clear, smooth, translucent look of the skin that can mean more to a woman than even the most perfect features. For it can make a woman look interesting and attractive, no matter what the rest of her appearance may be. Many women tell me they've acquired that lovely translucent look of the skin by using my four-purpose face cream. They say my cream makes their skin look so much smoother and fresher that it makes them look years younger. Now, here's why Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream does so much for the appearance of your skin. First, it thoroughly cleans your skin, coaxing out the dirt and stale makeup embedded in the pore openings. Second, it softens your skin, loosens and absorbs the dry flakes that tend to make your skin look rough. Third, it helps nature refine the pores and makes your skin look more delicate. And fourth, it leaves a smooth, perfect base for powder. These are things you can see for yourself, right on your own skin. So try Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream. Compare it with any other cream you've ever used. I know you'll agree with the thousands of women who call it the most beautifying face cream they've ever used.
Friends, soon there will be a call in your community for aid to the National War Fund. You give once, but you give for all when you give to the National War Fund, because your donation is a portion to 17 different relief organizations. Help our allies, help our war prisoners, the USO, and your own local war chest by giving generously to the National War Fund through your United Community campaign. Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present You Belong to Me. It will star Don Ameche and Mary Astor. Be sure to listen. John Garfield can now be seen in the Warner Brothers 48-star musical, Thank Your Lucky Stars. Maureen O'Hara can soon be seen in The Life of Buffalo Bill, a 20th Century-Fox production. Ralph Morgan can soon be seen in the Universal picture, The Imposter. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. For economy's sake, get the largest size of Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream and the larger sizes of Lady Esther Face Powder. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night, all. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Screen Guild play tonight, You Belong to Me. The starring players, this is Don Ameche.
And this is Mary Astor.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild players in a radio adaptation of the Columbia picture, You Belong to Me, starring Don Ameche as Peter Kirk and Mary Astor as Helen Hunt. In the happy, careless days when people still went to the hills for their winter sports, an expert skier comes swooping down a snow-covered slope like this. Then suddenly he spies a pretty girl, takes his eye off the course, and goes like this. Peter Kirk is the fellow's name, young, handsome, and fabulously rich. The girl is Dr. Helen Hunt. Yes, Helen Hunt, M.D., up here on vacation from Los Angeles. And so, when Peter regains consciousness...
Doctor. Oh, Doctor, you're swell.
And then...
Doctor, you're wonderful.
And then...
Doctor, you are beautiful. Will you marry me?
Forget it, Peter. The whole idea is fantastic.
Yeah, but Doctor, Helen, you know I love you. I loved you for 3 whole days. I loved you the very first moment we met.
How could you tell? You were unconscious.
I love you and you love me. You know you do.
Maybe you didn't hurt your leg. Maybe it was your head.
You love me, Helen.
Suppose I do. Marriage isn't for women like me. I've dedicated my life to medicine.
Helen, I love you.
There's not a moment of my life I can call my own.
Helen, I love you.
I can never be sure that the day is mine or the night. I can never know when a patient will call.
Helen, I love you.
Did you hear what I said?
Of course I heard. Helen, I love you.
Peter, I'm not sure.
Well, then why don't you stop kissing me? Helen, we can't fight this, love. It's too strong. We'll be married this afternoon, won't we? Oh, darling.
Well, no one can say I didn't try.
Well, Mrs. Dr. Kirk, this is the old homestead, and it's all yours. You like it?
32 rooms, 26 baths. Peter, I'll need a map to get around.
Yeah, well, I told you what Dad and Mother left me. After all, what's money?
I'll let you know when I find out. Remember, we've only been married 3 hours. Is this the part of the house where we'll live?
Yeah, I like this upstairs suite best. We'll live up here, eat up here, and grow old together happily.
Peter, darling, promise me one thing.
All right.
Never let me do what I've dreamed about, like sleeping till noon and having breakfast in bed. Make me get up early and brush my teeth and shower like a good, honest human being. Promise?
Yeah, I promise. Oh, Helen, when I realize that we're together... Oh, darn. Come in.
Mr. Kirk, sir, I've had your luggage taken out of the car and dinner will be brought up in just a moment.
Very good, Maureen.
And Mrs. Kirk, your office call.
Thank you.
And Mr. Vandermeer, he seemed quite anxious to reach you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Now, Peter, you were saying...
how did those people get our number?
I wired my office. Darling, weren't you going
Mr.
to...
Vandermeer, too?
He got it from the office, probably. Peter, you were showing me the suite.
Yeah, sure. This man who called.
Van? Oh, Van's one of my patients.
Van?
Short for Vandermeer, silly.
Oh. Well, he sounds like a very substantial man. About 60, huh? Maybe 61?
No, he's just a few years older than you.
Oh.
Well, have you forgotten the 40-cent tour?
Oh, no. On that side is the master bedroom, and over there is the guest room, which you can forget I mentioned. Helen, I don't want you to think I'm jealous. It's just that I love you so much.
Oh, I love you, too. When you have your arms around me like this. Oh, darn. Come in.
Pardon, Mrs. Kirk. Dinner is served.
Oh, that was rather good dinner, wasn't it, Helen?
Oh, and most undietetic, in a heavenly sort of way. I've never tasted such lobster thermidor and those tiny biscuits.
Yeah, I guess cook out dinner, so. You know, this is what I've always dreamed about.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner at home. 2 of us here alone, together. Pardon me, dear.
Certainly.
You know, I'm sorry.
I can fix that. I've got some pills right here in my bag. Mm-hmm. Here, take these 2 with a glass of water.
Thanks.
It's a perfectly normal symptom, you know. Emotion and food don't mix. In a roundabout way, you're proving you love me.
Darling.
Wait.
Why?
Now.
Oh, darling. Just to know your mind. Just to know we'll always... Confound it, I told Moody not to call us. Hello? Who? Of course not Moody. Well, say the doctor's out. Say anything. Use your head.
Who is it?
Oh, it's a Mrs. Roberts. Moody can just
No,
tell...
wait. I'll take the phone.
Oh, but darling...
It won't hurt to talk to her. Hello? Yes, Moody, put her on. Hello, Miss Roberts? No, it's quite all right. It is, huh? Really bad. How often? Uh-huh. I will. Don't you move. I'll be over there in 20 minutes.
Why, Helen...
I'm sorry, dear. It's an emergency.
But, darling, to leave
Peter,
now...
I warned you this would happen. You said you understood thoroughly.
Oh, but not this thoroughly.
Peter, I don't like it either, but I've simply got to go. Want to wish me luck?
Oh, yeah, of course. Good luck, darling.
I'll hurry back.
I'll be waiting.
Peter. Peter. Peter, I'm back.
No. I was asleep, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, darling, I miss you so much. I'm so glad... I'm going to tear that phone out by the roots. Hello? Oh, Vandermeer, Just a moment. Helen.
Well, after all, dear, he's a patient.
Oh, I give up here.
Hello? Yes, Van. Oh, don't be silly. Why are you calling so late? Yes? 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 Yes?
They call that a conversation,
Oh, you'll live through the night, Van. You can drop in at the office tomorrow. What? Oh, I couldn't now. But I can't say it now. All right, then.
He's the most wonderful man in the world. He's wonderful.
There, are you satisfied? You ought to be shot. Good night.
Well, is that how a doctor speaks to a patient?
He has a bad throat.
He has a bad throat. Is that why you laughed? Is that why you couldn't talk in front of me, your own husband?
But I had to mumble. It was embarrassing.
Oh, embarrassing?
Oh, all right. I told him you were the finest man I'd ever known and that I was terribly happy.
Well, just the same, Oh, you did, huh? Darling, I'm such a heel.
Well, maybe we'd both feel better if you kissed me.
My wife. My own sweet wife. My... Gosh.
Oh, dear, who can it be now?
If I get my hands on him, he'll need a doctor. Yes.
It's Moody, sir. Is there anything else?
No.
Darling, it's only 6:45. It's silly for you to get up just because I have to.
Well, you know what the preacher said, for better or for worse.
And this is worse.
Oh, definitely. Say, why can't people be sick just after 9 a.m.?
Silly. I'm doing an appendectomy at the hospital this morning.
Oh, she's in pretty bad shape, huh?
Who?
Well, the lady with the appendix.
It's a man.
A man?
Well, why not? I happen to be a very capable surgeon.
Well, you're also a very attractive woman. And men from the beginning of time have been nothing but scheming, treacherous wolves.
Very well, then. I'm just an animal doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm just a jealous fool. Please forgive me.
Well, I shouldn't.
Meaning you will? Come on. Please kiss me.
Oh, when you kiss me like that, it's sabotage. I lose all interest in my work.
You do? You mean that...
No. My first duty is to Mr. Bellow's appendix. Goodbye, darling. I'll see you at dinner.
Playing second fiddle to a sick appendix. Not even a healthy one. Well. Yeah, come in. Oh, hello, Moody.
I thought perhaps you'd like some breakfast, sir.
Moody, you know I never breakfast before 10. And what are you doing up so early?
It was the telephone, sir. The hospital called at 6, and Mrs. Kirk's assistant at 6:05.
Oh.
And Mr. Vandermeer at 6:10.
Vandermeer? What did he want?
I never listen in, sir. Possibly an appointment with the doctor.
He already has an appointment.
Really, sir? Hmm.
And may I ask what that means?
Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing at all, sir.
Then in the future, you will oblige me by never ming before noon.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kirk, will you be going back to bed, sir?
Well, I really could do it. No, Moody. No more of that lazy life for me. I'm going to the club and play some golf.
Well, as I live and breathe, if it isn't Pete Kirk.
Oh, hello, Keckle.
Hell, I never expected to see you at the club this early. Getting dressed for a game of golf, I see.
Yeah, they won't let me wear these cleated shoes in the pool.
Say, that's good. Oh, by the way, I want to congratulate you. From what I've heard about your bride, she must be just what the patient ordered.
What did you hear?
Well, Pete, if the boys aren't lying, you better get a bottle of dandruff remover.
Why, what for?
To get that Vandermeer out of your hair. Say, he's been raving about that girl for months. And when that wolf raves, it must be something, because he's been on the trail ever since he could walk.
What kind of a looking fella is he?
Well, say if Flash Gordon was just a little gray at the temples.
Believe me, if that guy was anywhere near my wife, I'd lock her in the closet and swallow the key.
Oh, that type of fella doesn't bother me. I'm not worried.
Oh, you're not, huh?
No, of course not.
Not a bit, huh?
No, not a bit.
Then tell me, why have you put your pants on backwards?
And so ends Act One of You Belong to Me, starring Mary Astor and Don Ameche. Before we hear Act Two, a word from our hostess, Lady Astor.
So many women have written me in the last few weeks to make a sort of confession. They tell me they used Lady Astor four-purpose face cream for years and never dreamed of using anything else. Until, and here's where the confession comes in, until they began earning extra money, had more to spend. So they thought they'd try the elaborate, high-priced creams that used to be beyond their reach. Some of them switched to so-called beauty treatments, using several preparations instead of just one as before. But they all had the same sad story to relate. They all said their skin didn't look nearly as fresh and lovely as when they used Lady Astor face cream alone. They said pore openings seemed to look large, or face powder didn't go on smoothly. They were so disappointed that they quickly changed back to Lady Astor four-purpose face cream. Now, letters like that are proof my cream is different. And that difference is something you can see. After all, that's the only way to judge a face cream, by the appearance of your skin after using it. You may find that your skin looks a lot younger and more attractive after the first few applications of Lady Astor face cream. Because here's what it does. 1, it thoroughly cleans your skin. 2, it softens your skin. 3, it helps nature refine the pores. And 4, it leaves a perfect base for powder. So you see, all you need for the complete daily care of your skin is just this one cream, Lady Astor four-purpose face cream.
And now the curtain rises on the second act of You Belong to Me, starring Mary Astor as Dr. Helen Hunt and Don Ameche as Peter Kirk. Comes now the dawn of another day, and I do mean dawn. It's 6:30 a.m. on the following morning, and Peter Kirk, who never breakfasts before 10, is having breakfast.
Sleepy, darling?
Who, me? No, not at all. Just that my body can't realize I'm up.
I wish I could have slept late, too, but I've got such a busy day ahead of me.
Lots of appointments, huh?
Oh, lots.
Didn't you say Van was coming in today?
I didn't, but he is at 2 o'clock. Why?
Oh, nothing. Pretty nice sort of fella, huh?
Oh, very. Peter, you're not getting...
Who, me? Oh, no, not in your life. Dum-de-dum-dum. 2 o'clock.
What?
Why, did I say something?
You said at 2 o'clock. Peter, you're acting very strangely this morning.
Oh, nonsense. I'm the happiest man in the world.
Honest Injun.
Honest, Injun.
Oh, darling, I'm so glad. I have to hurry now, but I'll be thinking of you.
And I'll be thinking of you. Any hour you can name, I'll be thinking of you. 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 2.
Mr. Kirk, sir, will there be anything else?
No, I don't think so, Moody. Oh, do you have the right time?
Yes, sir, I think so, sir. It's exactly 1:30.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, sir.
All right, maybe it isn't cricket. Well, I'm not playing cricket. Hello. Mr. Vandermeer in? My name is Jones, Mr. Harold Jones. Yes, that's right. I want to buy some property Mr. Vandermeer owns. Can I see him this afternoon at 2? No, 2 is the only time I have open. Oh, he's tied up. With his doctor. Mm-hmm. He couldn't cancel it, could he? Oh, I see. No, I'll call tomorrow. Goodbye. That's a fine thing, all right. Leaving me home to fret and stew. Treating me like I didn't even count. Just because she's so doggone important. Just because I've got too much money. Well, I'll show her, all right. I'll make her sit up and take notice. I'll do something about it. I'll do something radical. I'll go to work. My goodness, what did I say?
Peter?
Oh, Helen, dear.
Oh, darling, it's good to see you. I rushed right home.
No, wait. Look at me.
Well, you look fine.
Of course I do. I have won a battle.
Well, ought I see the other fellow?
Oh, no, not that kind. I mean a battle with myself.
Oh.
You know, I'll be honest, honey. When you left this morning, I was raging inside with jealousy, imagining weird, crazy things about you and Vandermeer.
Oh.
But, you know, I even considered going down to your office and throwing him out bodily.
Oh, Peter.
But I fought a battle with myself, and I won.
You won't be jealous anymore. You won't imagine things.
Never again. I'm a changed man.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear you say that, because I didn't see Van this afternoon.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I'm going to his house.
His house?
He's too ill to come out. It hit him quite suddenly this afternoon. I think it's the flu.
But
I'm going over there right now. I just stopped by to give you a kiss and tell you to hold dinner for me. Bye, darling. I won't be long.
Oh, now it's to his house. And at night. And the moon is out. Maybe I ought to go over there and... No. Nope. I'm a changed man now.
Mr. Kirk, sir.
Huh? Oh, yes, Moody, yeah.
I beg your pardon, sir, but I noticed Mrs. Kirk was leaving again. What about dinner, sir?
Oh, she'll be back by 8. It's just an emergency call to Vandermeer's.
Mr. Vandermeer, sir?
Moody, are you going to start mming again?
Well, I'm awfully sorry, sir. It was just a surprise.
What surprise?
Well, I saw Mr. Vandermeer's cook at the market today, and she said Mr. Vandermeer was in excellent health.
Oh-ho!
This way, Doctor. Mr. Vandermeer is expecting
Thank you, Fredericks. But why are all the cars outside?
Cars, Doctor?
Yes, and why is it so dark in here? Why don't you turn on the light?
All right, turn on the light, somebody. How do you like it, Helen?
Well, Van, all of you... Well, I think you're all wonderful, but my husband...
Well, we couldn't ask you both, or, it wouldn't have been a surprise. I'll have Fredericks call him up now. Fredericks?
Mr. Peter Kirk has just arrived, sir.
Say, Helen, that husband of yours doesn't waste any time.
You're telling me.
Helen.
Peter, darling,
We'll discuss that later. You're coming home with me.
But Peter,
wait
dear.
a minute. And as for the rest of these people and your host, they're just a bunch of dirty tramps. Now come along.
Wait a minute.
Beg pardon, ma'am. Will Mr. Kirk want his breakfast now, do you think?
You might ask him, Moody. He's in the guest room.
The guest room, ma'am?
Yes. Is there a comment you'd like to make?
Nothing, ma'am. Nothing beyond... Excuse me, please. Mr. Kirk, sir. Mr. Kirk.
I imagine you'll have to open the door.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Kirk, would you like some... I say, ma'am.
What is it, Moody? What's wrong?
The bed's not even been slept in, ma'am. Mr. Kirk is gone.
Moody.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Kirk. You're home early, ma'am.
Oh, I've been so distracted these past 3 days. I might just as well not have been at the office. Were there any calls?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Vandermeer.
Again?
And Mr. Kirk.
Peter called? Well, why didn't you phone me?
I was not to tell you till you came home.
Well, where is he, Moody? What did he say?
You're to meet him tomorrow at Hill's department store, counter 7, main floor. Ask for Mr. Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins? I never knew a Jenkins in my life.
Can you tell me how much this tie is?
Yes, it's a pleasure, madam. This tie sells for $5.
$5?
$5 anywhere but here. During our sale, you may have this extraordinary piece of merchandise for $2.39, an imported tie which we absolutely cannot replace in stock.
Well, Peter. Well, of course, it is sort of pretty,
Peter,
but...
darling.
Excuse me, madam. Someone I have... one of my charge accounts. I'll be right back. Hello, honey.
Peter Kirk, you're working.
Shh, not so loud. The name is Jenkins.
Oh.
But I am working. $22.50 a week.
Oh, Peter, how wonderful.
Oh, it is wonderful. Work makes you feel a lot more important. Makes you want to better yourself. You know, already I've been complimented by the head of the department.
No.
Yes. And, Helen, about the other night.
Oh, forget it, darling. I've forgotten it.
You have? You mean everything is all right?
Well, you think I want to lose a man with the future you've got? Why, if you can sell a tie, you can sell a piano. And if you can sell a piano, you can sell anything. Besides, I love you, Mr. Jenkins.
Darling.
Say, mister, about this tie, I don't...
Oh,
Peter,
yes.
I'll see you at dinner. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Does that always go with the charge account?
Well, she's a very special customer.
You got lipstick.
Oh, I have? Well, what do you know?
Mr. Jenkins.
What?
Mr. Marshall wants to see you in his office.
Oh, well, the manager... Oh, say, that's great. I'll be right up there when I finish this sale.
I just want you to understand our position, Mr. Kirk. Our employees' club is very strong. Naturally, we can't risk any trouble.
Yeah, but why should I cause any trouble?
It seems they've discovered who you are, and they feel you shouldn't be working here, taking a job from someone who needs it.
Yeah, but I need it, too. I need it more than anyone.
Oh, come now, Mr. Kirk, with all your millions.
Oh, it isn't the money. It's my self-respect. And my wife. And my... what's the use? You're sure there's no hope?
I'm afraid not. I'll have the cashier draw your check.
4 days he's been gone now, Moody. Why does he do a thing like this to us?
Perhaps it was that story in the paper, ma'am, about his losing that job.
Well, what's wrong with that? Anyone can lose a job. It's a whole lot worse to lose a husband.
Possibly you haven't lost him yet, ma'am. I always say...
I'll take it. Hello? Yes, this is Dr. Hunt. My husband? Where? Central Hospital? Of course. Certainly, I'll be right over. Which room, nurse?
This one, Dr. Hunt.
Thank you. Peter.
Hello, honey.
Peter. You mean you're not hurt?
Well, how do I look?
Peter Kirk, I could break your neck. Scaring me to death, pretending to be injured.
Oh, darling, you've just been imagining things. It was my secretary who phoned.
Your secretary?
Sure. How do you like your hospital, Helen?
My hospital?
Well, half yours anyway. I just bought it.
Peter, you must be out of your mind. This place is bankrupt. It takes a fortune to run.
Well, that stuff I've got, I wouldn't call that lettuce. Oh, boy, am I going to be busy.
You?
Well, just on the business end, of course. Boy, will you be busy.
Me?
Oh, you bet your life. You're head of staff.
Peter, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You mean you're putting your money into this hospital knowing you'll get nothing in return?
Oh, what do you mean, nothing? I'll be helping the sick. I'll be making jobs for doctors, nurses.
Interns, too.
Yeah, maybe a lot of other people I don't even know about. You should see all the patients in here.
A lot of kids, I'll bet.
Oh, yeah, paralysis, broken bones.
We'll make them all well.
Listen, you're just as excited as I
Oh,
am.
of course. Oh, Peter, darling, I love you so.
Well, gosh, I love you. Doctor, would you like to see your first patient now?
Who?
Me. I think that last kiss gave me a temperature.
Thank you, Don Ameche and Mary Astor, for appearing with the Lady Astor Screen Guild players tonight. We are indeed grateful for your fine performances.
We're glad to be here, Mr. Bradley. We look forward to our appearances with the Lady Astor Screen Guild players because we know that the benefits from these programs go to support the Motion Picture Relief Fund, Country House, and Clinic. And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Astor.
Thank you, Miss Astor. Ladies, do you know how you can tell the difference between one face cream and another? Well, there's only one sure way, and that's by the appearance of your skin after using the cream. If the cream you use leaves your skin looking very much the same, if it still has a dingy or pasty look and shows no real improvement, well, don't blame it on your skin. Blame it only on your face cream. For if you use Lady Astor 4-Purpose Face Cream, you will see a difference. You will see a real improvement in your skin. Lady Astor Face Cream works with nature and helps nature. It thoroughly cleans out the clogged pore openings so that they can function normally again. It loosens and absorbs the dry little flakes that tend to make your skin look rough and bumpy. It seems to bring back the lovely, delicate texture of youth by helping nature refine the pores. And it leaves such a smooth base for powder that women say the effect is simply enchanting. The very first time you use Lady Astor Face Cream, you'll see how much cleaner and fresher your skin looks, how it seems to revive, to take on the appearance of new life and beauty. And never again will you judge a face cream by its package, its price, or its popularity. You'll judge it only by what it does for your skin. Seeing is believing. So try Lady Astor 4-Purpose Face Cream soon.
Next week, the Lady Astor Screen Guild players will present George Washington Slept Here. It will star Carole Landis and Jack Carson. Be sure to listen. Don Ameche can soon be seen in the 20th Century-Fox production Happy Land. Mary Astor can currently be seen in the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Technicolor musical Thousands Cheer. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. For economy's sake, get the largest size of Lady Astor 4-Purpose Face Cream and the larger sizes of Lady Astor Face Powder. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Astor, saying thank you. And good night, all.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lady Astor presents the Screen Guild Players. The Screen Guild play tonight, George Washington Slept Here. The starring players...
This is Jack Carson.
And this is Carole Landis.
Tonight, Lady Astor presents the Screen Guild players in a radio adaptation of Warner Brothers' rollicking comedy, George Washington Slept Here, by George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart. It stars Jack Carson as Bill Fuller and Carole Landis as his wife, Connie. The Lady Astor Screen Guild players in George Washington Slept Here.
Bill. Miles from the city. Isn't it wonderful? No noise, no smoke.
Well, I like the city. I even like smoke. Smoke makes a city seem so lived in.
Ah, just smell that air.
Smells like a damp dog.
Oh, Bill, look. That's our new house.
Our new house? Connie, are you telling me that moth-eaten, termite-ridden pile of rotten boards is our house? You mean without saying a word, you've taken our hard-earned money and bought that rabbit hutch?
Oh, Bill.
Connie, I think you've lost your mind.
Ah, Bill, you're going to love this. It's hundreds of years old. Think of it, darling. George Washington actually slept in this very house.
Yeah? With all those cracks in the walls, it's a wonder the wind didn't blow him out of bed.
Ah, and look at this living room. 200 years ago, it was full of colonial soldiers. If only these walls could talk.
Well, I can, and I want to go back to town.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kemper. This is my husband.
Howdy.
I've been showing him through the house.
Be careful of upstairs floors, ma'am. One of them caved in last month. Just up and gave away.
Well, Mr. Kemper is the caretaker.
I see. Have you been here 200 years too, Mr. Kemper?
Let's see now. I came here in, no, it was, no. Yeah. No, I haven't.
Come along, Bill. Upstairs is the bedroom George Washington slept in just before going to Yorktown.
Can't you just buy me a book on American history and let me read it on West 27th Street? Right now I'm hot and thirsty.
Oh, Bill, I believe you're really angry.
Angry? I could spit from here to Mount Vernon. Look at this goat's nest. Looks like half the battles of the Revolution were fought down there in the living room.
Just wait till you see this place a month from now. We're going to remodel the whole thing, and Mr. Kemper is going to superintend it.
I'm thirsty. I want a drink of water.
Oh, Mr. Kemper.
Yes, Miss Fuller.
Where's the water faucet? Mr. Fuller wants a drink.
No faucets in the house, ma'am.
Isn't there any water at all anywhere?
Well, there's the brook.
Well, who's going to drink brook water?
Fished you right good on it.
I can understand that. This is a great spot for suckers.
Look, Mr. Kemper, couldn't we just dig a well and find water?
Nothing to stop you doing that. Only takes 30 to 60 days.
Oh, goody. I'll just put the drink off a month or two. I really wasn't thirsty anyhow. It's a fine thing. A guy's either got to be a fish and drink in the brook or a camel and never touch the stuff. I think...
Oh, Bill, look. Shame on you. You fell right through the ceiling.
Just up and gave away, didn't she? Are you hurt, Mr. Fuller?
No, I loved it. George Washington slept here. I know now what drove him to Valley Forge. The firing line is less dangerous than this 7-room booby trap.
Your name, Fuller?
That's right.
My name is Prescott. I own the house next door. This road you're using to drive up to your house is my road.
Your road? There must be some mistake. You see, I own this house. My wife and I just bought it.
Did you buy the road?
Well, no, of course not. But don't roads usually go with houses?
Not this road, Mr. Fuller. I built this road with my own money, and you, sir, are trespassing.
Well, how are we supposed to get to our house? Parachute in?
How you manage it is no concern of mine. All I can say is you'll have to build your own road. Good day, Mr. Fuller.
Who was it, Bill?
Our neighbor, Mr. Prescott. Nice guy. Owns roads and things. Says the road leading to our property belongs to him and we can't use it. We're trapped. I'm a man without a road.
But, dear, there's another road to the woods back of the house.
Yeah? Maybe we ought to trade our car in for a pack mule and an Indian guide.
Now, Bill, I'll check with the real estate agent in the morning.
By all means do. Maybe the house doesn't belong to us either. That'll be the best news I've had all week.
Oh, here, Bill, help me unpack the rest of these cooking utensils. We'll never get dinner if Hester doesn't get the rest of her pots and pans.
For the love of Mike, listen to that noise. Is Mr. Kimmer going to be drilling for water all summer? There's so many holes in the backyard now, it looks like an army of gophers were working a swing shift.
Well, Mr. Kemper says the new well looks very promising. He thinks we're going to strike it this time.
Yeah? He'll strike gold before he strikes water.
Miss Fuller, I'm quitting. I can't work in that kitchen.
What's the matter this time, Hester?
That animal of Mr. Kimber's walked right through the wall that ain't got no door.
Well, it's only a horse.
Only a horse?
Bill, help Hester get the poor animal out of the kitchen.
A horse must be out of its head to walk into a kitchen in times like these. Scram, dog biscuit. Go on back to Crosby.
There. There you are, Hester. Now, once that wall gets up, it won't happen again. The poor horse is probably just as scared as you are.
Oh, I ain't scared. I'm just not used to cooking and riding side saddle at the same time.
Look, Connie, we've been in this country jail 30 days. No road, wall in the kitchen still out, floors that may turn into trapdoors any moment, and even the OPA couldn't put a ceiling on this house.
But, Bill, it takes a little time to get everything all fixed up.
Pardon me, Mrs. Fuller, but I ordered the gravel. Going to need another load, too. We figured $42, but the bill says around $135. Price of lime's gone up, too. Then there's the trees, you know.
Trees? What do we have to do about the trees? Pay them for standing there?
No, but you got to spray them, Mr. Fuller.
Oh.
If we don't, they're liable to get elm blight or oak borer. Mm-hmm. And then there are caterpillars and the measuring worm.
Is that all, Mr. Kimber?
Well, there's the Japanese beetle.
Japanese... Does Mr. Prescott have Japanese beetles?
No, just you.
You mean all the way from Japan they came to pick on me?
Was there anything else, Mr. Kemper?
Well, we need a couple of truckloads of fertilizer. It's $45 a load now.
45? You know, when fertilizer costs more than sirloin steak, it makes you stop and think.
Then let's see. We're going to need 6 truckloads of dirt.
Dirt? Connie, first we got no water, then we got no road, but now a farm and no dirt. That's too much.
Bill, sometimes I just don't understand you. Here you are, face to face with the most wonderful thing in the world, nature. And all you see are a few insignificant trivialities.
That's all very fine. I love it here, Connie. Just us and the insects. But where's the money coming from to pay for all of this? Look at this little note from the county. Extra assessment county poorhouse, $21.30. I suggest we pay that and move right in.
Oh, Bill, at least you should feel better now that we have water. Just think, ever since early this morning, 40 gallons a minute.
Mr. Fuller.
Oh, hello, Mr. Prescott. What can I do for you?
Mr. Fuller, you have just put a well down on my property. You're drawing my water.
You know something, Mr. Prescott? I breathed some of your air today, too. Go on, sue me.
Why, Mr. Prescott,
See here, Prescott, we put no well down on your property.
Don't tell me. Your property ends at the brook. Why don't you look at your deed first instead of having a man go out and dig wells wherever he wants to? You can't go around punching holes in other people's property.
Well, even if the well is on your property, couldn't you, well, sort of allow us to use it?
Mr. Fuller, this well you put down has tapped my spring. I just tried to fill my bathtub and nothing comes out of the faucets.
Maybe it just runs on Saturday.
There is no water anywhere in my house.
You mean...
Yes.
Oh, no wonder we get 40 gallons to the minute.
Well, Mr. Fuller, do you plug it up or do I have my men do it and send you the bill? I'll give you an hour to decide.
Look, I'll pull the well out of the ground, saw it up, and stack it right in the middle of your road. Goodbye. Mr. Kimber, you've been drilling holes in this backyard long enough. I haven't seen anything but the top of your head for weeks. Don't go down to the mine today, Kimber. Don't.
The more I drill, the closer we get to water.
Well, please stop for a while. You're beginning to get that cave dweller look.
Yes, sir. But you know, the water isn't looking for us. We're looking for the water.
Mr. Prescott has probably drained all the water to stay away from this place. Just forget it.
Mr. Fuller.
Hello, Mr. Kimber. Come right in. I suppose the Japanese beetles are coming.
3 months too early for them.
Oh.
Afraid the new well is no good, Mrs. Fuller. Just struck a cemetery.
A cemetery?
Anybody we know?
Well, you better keep trying, Mr. Kimber. We've got to have water.
Look, Kimber.
Yeah.
Dig.
Zoot, Mr. Fuller, zoot.
Connie, we've got to do something about Raymond. I refuse to have that 12-year-old package of dynamite running around this house any longer.
But, Bill, he's my nephew. Besides, Raymond's only been here 2 weeks, and after all, he's only a small boy. Couldn't you try to get to really know him better?
Know him? He bit his initials in my leg, didn't he? He's not the type to know better. The only way you can know that brat is worse.
But, Bill, it's just until my sister gets a divorce. That's the only thing that's holding it up now is the custody of Raymond.
You mean neither one of his parents will take him?
Hey, Aunt Connie, here comes that old flat-faced Mr. Prescott. The old jerk looks like he's got a push on.
Oh.
Mr. Fuller, this boy just threw a dead skunk in my swimming pool.
I did not. It was alive.
No. And this morning he put a sign, nudist camp, right in front of my gate.
Oh, Raymond, if you don't behave, your Uncle Bill is going to have to do something about you.
I know what I'd like to do, but it means the chair in this state.
Why, I'd turn my dogs loose on you if you weren't leaving tomorrow.
Leaving? But we're not going anywhere, Mr. Prescott.
Oh, that's what you think. Mr. Fuller, it may interest you to know that your property is being foreclosed on Tuesday.
Foreclosed?
Exactly. I'm on the board of directors at the bank. At 12 o'clock Tuesday morning, Mr. Fuller, I'm buying your place.
Connie, what does he mean?
I don't know, Bill. We have the deed.
You may have your deed, but you haven't got $5,000. Good day.
Well, there was a letter from the bank, Bill, but I didn't want to bother you.
Bother me? Just a letter of foreclosure, that's all.
Oh.
We seem to have paid for everything except the house.
Oh, it's all my fault. What are we going to do?
Sometimes if you write to Mrs. Roosevelt, the darndest things happen. You know, Connie, I was just beginning to like this place.
Were you, Bill?
Yeah.
Were you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, $5,000. It doesn't sound like so much.
It does when you haven't got it. Maybe we could hock Raymond for $5,000.
So ends Act One of George Washington Slept Here, starring Carole Landis and Jack Carson. Before we hear Act Two, a word from our hostess, Lady Astor.
I believe there's nothing that can do more to dramatize a woman's appearance than a fresh, lovely skin. For I've seen living proof of it so many times. I remember, for example, a rather plain, mousy little woman I met once at a dinner party. She had such a blemished, unattractive skin that it made her very self-conscious among people, and she begged me to help her, to tell her what to do. Well, I said, millions of women use my four-purpose face cream and seem to find it very helpful. You mean that's all I need, she said, just one cream? She seemed surprised, as though one cream couldn't possibly help her long-neglected skin. Well, I left the party soon after, never expecting to see her again. But I did see her just a few weeks later, and I could hardly believe my eyes. For she had taken my advice, had used Lady Astor face cream morning and night, and she had become positively radiant. Her skin looked so much smoother and fresher that she seemed years younger than when I last saw her. And now that she was no longer self-conscious about her skin, she had acquired new poise, new confidence. It was reflected even in the way she walked and talked. Lady Astor four-purpose face cream had helped make her a very attractive woman indeed. So why don't you try Lady Astor face cream? It thoroughly cleans your skin, it softens your skin, it helps nature refine the pores, and it leaves a smooth, perfect base for powder. Millions of lovely women now use no other cream for their skin than Lady Astor four-purpose face cream.
And now the curtain rises on Act Two of George Washington Slept Here, starring Jack Carson as Bill Fuller and Carole Landis as his wife, Connie.
Oh, Mrs. Fuller, I forgot to give you this telegram.
Only a telegram, Mr. Kimber? No locusts? No worms? No beetles?
Oh. Bill!
Ah.
Guess what? Uncle Stanley is coming.
Uncle, when?
Now. He must be on his way from the station.
Of all the times.
Oh, Bill, it'll only be for a couple of days.
Oh, sure, just for the weekend. There isn't going to be any weekend, Connie. Don't you remember? We're leaving tomorrow. Uncle Stanley, the old windbag. Well, all I can say is if we ever get his money, we've earned it.
Money? Oh, money. Say, that's a wonderful idea. Don't you get it, Bill? We'll borrow the $5,000 from him.
That tight old buzzard. Do you realize he's never given us so much as a handkerchief? Just pictures. Pictures of himself.
Now, Bill, that one in the guest room came in very handy. It covered a very bad place in the plaster.
Tell you, I'm sick of them. Pictures of Uncle Stanley grinning at you in the living room, the dining room, the front hall, why, even the bed, everywhere. I'd like to find just one peaceful corner in this house where the old goat couldn't leer down at me.
Hey, Bill, look out the window. Here he is now. It's Uncle Stanley.
You old buzzard.
Hello, children.
Why, Uncle Stanley. Hello, you old buzzard. Welcome.
Are we glad to see you?
Constance, my dear. Hello there, Bill.
Oh, Uncle Stanley, you look wonderful.
Come in and sit down in this nice easy chair, Uncle Stanley. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you, Bill. Now, let me see. Where's that little package I brought? Oh, yes, there it is. A little something for the house with my compliments.
Oh, look, Bill. A picture of Uncle Stanley.
Well, isn't that wonderful?
Nice little place you have here, Constance.
Yeah, George Washington actually slept here. You should have seen this place before we took it over. You wouldn't have believed anybody could have slept here. This place would have given Robinson Crusoe insomnia. Draw your chair closer to the fire, Uncle Stanley.
Yes, here, let me get a cushion for your back, Uncle Stanley.
Thank you.
Are you sure you're comfortable, Uncle Stanley?
Yes.
Ah, swell. Well, by the way, Uncle Stanley, there was a fellow in our office, and he had an aunt that was going to leave him a whole lot of money, and this fella got into some trouble or other or something, and he finally had to go to this aunt and ask her if she'd give him some money.
She was a darn fool if she did.
Bill is trying to tell you something, Uncle Stanley. We're going to lose this house if we don't get $5,000 tomorrow.
$5,000?
Oh, we wouldn't ask if we weren't desperate. You see, we both felt that if Connie could have just that much of her inheritance now, why...
You see, Uncle Stanley, this house means so much to both of us.
That's all very well, Constance, but people shouldn't go about buying things they can't afford to pay for.
Surely, Uncle Stanley, a man of your means...
That has nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry, Uncle Stanley. It was my fault, not Bill's. But $5,000 can't mean very much to you, and it means an awfully lot to us.
It's quite a shock to me, Constance. You're the first one in the family that's ever asked for money. As a lesson to you, I'm afraid I've got to say no.
Uncle Stanley, I'm not going to let you say no. Please say yes, Uncle Stanley.
Bill, Constance, I'm going to tell you something. I haven't got a plug nickel. Not a cent.
What?
I haven't got a cent. Went broke in 1929, clean broke.
Oh, you're joking.
No, I'm not.
I just don't get it.
I get $100 a month from an annuity, the only thing I have left.
Well, why did you go on fooling everybody all these years?
Well, children, I'll tell you. When I found I was broke, I didn't like the idea a bit, so I said to myself, if you don't let your nephews and nieces find out, you can still have a wonderful life just visiting around. It'll be a cinch.
This is the dirtiest trick I ever heard of in my life. A professional homesteader.
Oh, Bill, I'm going to miss this place terribly. Just little things. Walking upstairs to bed at night, putting around the place. Oh, I don't know, the whole feeling that it's yours, inside and out.
Yes, our little place in the country. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of the Japanese beetle.
Say, Bill, I just want you and Constance to know that I'm very sorry I didn't have the money to give you.
Oh, that's all right, Uncle Stanley. Don't give it a thought. It doesn't matter now anyway.
All right. Take it easy, Hester. Your pie isn't so hot anyway.
You bring that piece of pie back here.
I can't now. I took a bite out.
Huckleberry Capone.
I suppose we'll have to give Hester notice.
With that kid Commando around, she'll probably be glad to retire to a boiler factory.
Raymond, come on out in the yard with me. I want to have a talk with you.
Okay.
Excuse us a minute, children.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, you know that Aunt Connie and Uncle Bill are going to lose their house.
Yeah, I heard about it. They aren't losing much when they lose that fire trap. Say, now there's an idea.
Yeah, but I got an idea how to help them. And I need your assistance.
Yeah? What's in it for me?
How about $5?
The fire'd be worth that. Make it 10 in cash.
All right, 10. Now, listen, I want you to get Mr. Prescott over here. Do you think you could do something to make him chase you back here?
Do I think? Say it's a cinch. Now, where's the $10?
When the job's over, I'll pay you. Now, run along and bring Prescott back.
Well, okay.
Raymond, on your way. George Washington may have crossed up the Delaware, but here's where your Uncle Stanley crosses up Mr. Prescott.
When you leave, where are you going to live, Mr. Fuller?
Under a newspaper in Central Park. Look us up.
Got a whole wheelbarrow of fertilizer out by the front door. What had better do with it?
Oh, just leave it there, Mr. Kemper. Maybe Mr. Prescott can take it home for his roses.
Well, it's paid for. Seems just a shame not to...
Help, he's just behind me.
For heaven's sakes, who's just behind you?
Mr. Fuller, I've stood all that I'm going to stand. That boy threw mud in my face.
Why, Raymond.
And all that fertilizer out there are paid for.
I tell you, if it weren't for the fact that you're leaving tomorrow, I'd have you thrown out now.
Mr. Prescott, until tomorrow, this property is ours, and I'll thank you to get off of it. In other words, you've got your road out there.
Hit it. It'll be a pleasure. I shall put the matter of personal damages in the hands of my lawyer.
Raymond, you may go to your room.
Oh, gee.
You heard me?
Oh, whoever said it was peaceful in the country.
Hello there. Where is everybody? Surprise, surprise. A visit from your old Uncle Stanley.
Hey, what in the...
What's going on here, Constance? Is something wrong? Don't tell me I'm late. I brought the check with me.
Check? The check?
Yes, the $5,000 you phoned me about.
Oh, yes, the check. Yes, I see.
Beg your pardon. I don't believe I've met this gentleman.
This is Mr. Prescott.
How do you do? I'm Stanley J. Menninger.
Well, Mr. Prescott, it seems the property will still be ours, eh?
You mean your uncle here is paying off the mortgage?
Hey, Mr. Manager, he has the $5, but they wouldn't give me a dime for your cufflinks. The man at the pawn shop said they're phony.
Oh, so... Mr. Menninger is reduced to pawning cufflinks, but says you'll pay the bank $5,000.
Why, Uncle Stanley.
Well, it almost worked.
There's a jail for people like you, Mr. Menninger.
Now, Mr. Prescott, where's your sense of humor? It was all in fun.
Well, possibly you won't think it's so funny tomorrow. I'll see that my dogs escort you out of here personally.
Oh, Mr. Fuller, look what I found. We were digging, and I brought up this old boot. It had an old letter in it, too. Fell out when we dug it up.
An old letter? Who's it addressed to?
Let me see. Nobody. It says, notes on a speech to the armed forces.
Armed forces? Why, that must be...
What does it say, Bill? Read it.
Gentlemen, we are facing a time of peril so grave in our brief national history that there is now only the choice of serving the country a little longer or having tomorrow no country to serve. Under the favor of Almighty God, we have become a nation. Let me say to you that I hate war. But if we remain one nation, one people, that time is not far distant when we may choose war or peace as our national interest, guided by justice. In the words of Tom Paine, these are the times that try men's souls. Tyranny like hell is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. 'Tis dearness alone that gives everything its value. And it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. George Washington.
George Washington?
Gosh. What's the date on that?
November 10th, 1777.
This document is priceless.
Well, think we can get $5,000 for it?
10 times that. Why, I know a half a dozen people who would buy it in 2 minutes.
Well, Mr. Prescott.
Well, what if it isn't genuine?
I assure you, Mr. Prescott, it is genuine. This will more than pay the bank back tomorrow. Goodbye, Mr. Prescott.
Look out that wheelbarrow.
There's none left for his roses.
Oh, Mr. Fuller! Mr. Fuller!
What?
Close the door. They're here.
Who's here?
The Japanese beetles. Millions of them.
Japanese beetles?
Yeah, what do we do with them, Mr. Fuller?
Let General MacArthur take care of them. Come on, Connie. This is the end.
Thank you, Mr. Carson and Miss Landis, for bringing us the story of George Washington Slept Here. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players are indeed grateful that you could be our guests tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. We're all aware of what fine work is being done by the Motion Picture Relief Fund and Clinic. And to know that the benefits from this program support that work makes our annual appearance of the Lady Esther Screen Guild players a real pleasure. We'll be back soon. And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Landis. Ladies, can you look in your mirror and say, my skin is just the way I want it to be, smooth, fresh, and youthful-looking? Or are there telltale signs of age around your eyes and mouth? Does your skin seem dry and rough to your fingers? Do you have a tiny blackhead here and there, perhaps a few big pores? Well, you can have the kind of skin you dream about. You can have a radiantly clean, fresh-looking skin that everyone admires. And all you need is just one cream, Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. Many women say it's the most beautifying face cream they've ever used. All I ask you to do is try Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. See how the dry flakes of skin are loosened and absorbed, how the very texture of your skin seems suddenly a lot finer and softer. Notice how much smoother face powder looks on your skin after you've removed those dry, clinging flakes. Remember, Lady Esther Face Cream is all you need, for it thoroughly cleans your skin, softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and leaves a smooth, perfect base for powder. Many women say their skin looks a lot younger and lovelier after the very first application of Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Design for Scandal. It will star Olivia de Havilland and Walter Pidgeon. Be sure to listen. Carole Landis is currently working in the 20th Century-Fox production, 4 Jills in a Jeep. Jack Carson can now be seen in the Warner Brothers production, Princess O'Rourke, and he can also be heard Wednesday evenings on this network in his own Campbell Soup radio program. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. For economy's sake, get the largest size of Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream and the larger sizes of Lady Esther Face Powder. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.